I'm Nadia. I represent the INSTEP scholarship as well as the Inspirasi PhD program at NTU. We'll be talking about scholarship opportunities for you to take up a coursework program or research by master's program at over NTU. Okay, let me begin by sharing that NTU's main campus in Singapore spans across 200 hectares, making it the largest university campus in Singapore. It's fitted with state-of-the-art facilities, and under the NTU Smart Campus vision, the university harnesses the power of digital tech and tech-enabled solutions to support better learning and living experiences, the discovery of new knowledge, as well as the sustainability of resources. So as you can see, these are some of our newly renovated facilities over at NTU, as well as we have quite a huge garden as well. Sharing some of our latest rankings by the QS World University Rankings, NTU is currently 12 in the entire world, third within Asia, and in Singapore itself, we are number one. So for a young university to be ranked quite highly is quite a feat. In a glance, sharing our total student numbers, we have about 40,000 odd student inclusive of 25,000 undergrads, 11,000 plus master students, as well as about 3,300 PhD candidates. And within that, our international population, our master students and PhD makes up, a huge chunk of the international population. One of our latest rankings as well, NTU scored ranked fifth, and is the only university in the rankings dominated by American universities under the interdisciplinary science rankings powered by the Times Higher Education. And we've long since recognized that to tackle the toughest challenges in our society and the world, solutions are found within disciplines and rarely fall within one discipline. So that means we are quite interdisciplinary and multi-hybrid in that sense. I'll share more about this, what I mean by interdisciplinary disciplines, in the upcoming slides. Let me just introduce one of our flagship programs, which is the Inspirasi program, Indonesia NTU Singapore Institute of Research for Sustainability and Innovation. Essentially, this is a PhD program founded by NTU, UI, ITS, ITB, and UGM, some of the top universities in Indonesia. And it's basically a research project, collaborative effort with all of these 5 universities to work on renewable energy, circular economy, smart cities. So if you're interested in doing a PhD program at NTU, you can consider this particular program. There's a co-supervisorship from NTU and one of these Indonesian universities, and basically work on the Ready project. So if you're interested, you can submit your interest over through this QR code. It'll bring you to a Google form where you'll have to fill up some particulars about your academic background, your research interest, and then my colleagues from the Inspirasi office will actually reach out to you, see how we can fit your interest to any available supervisors, for instance, and then we can work from there before you actually submit your PhD application to NTU. For those outside of these research interests, so if let's say you are into these humanities or social sciences, business, a doctorate degrees that you're interested in, you can. I think the main consensus is you have to look for a supervisor first. So the general recommendation is for you to look for a supervisor first, and then see whether you can align your research interests to the professors, to the supervisors' research studies, and then before you should apply for your formally submit your application to NTU as a PhD candidate. So I would recommend always going through our websites first, look through whatever programs that we've got to offer, and then find yourself a supervisor first before you start applying for a PhD. For the rest of this presentation, I would like to talk more about INSTEP, which is our second global flagship program. This one is open specifically for master's students, people who are interested to take up a master's program at NTU, the Indonesian NTU Singapore Talent Program. So it's a strategic partnership with LPDP, and it's co-founded by it's co-funded. It's a scholarship program co-funded by both LPDP and NTU, and it's open to all disciplines. And which basically means that you've got to apply to both LPDP and NTU separately. So LPDP scholarship has two application periods. One is around this timing, January, February, batch one. And then in batch two, it will open sometime June and July. So for the official dates, always just go through the LPDP webpage for the deadlines, the document submission requirements that you're supposed to submit, that sort of thing. So information are all over on the website. And then, of course, NTU, you have to apply separate to NTU. We have two intakes, two big intakes as well, November to March. So right now, this timing, our August intake application window is open. And then the second one for next year, Jan 2027, will open in July to August. So again, feel free to view our web pages for the different dates. What the in-step scholarship includes will be the education fund itself, which includes the reimbursable registration fee, tuition fees for the entire candidature, book allowance and dissertation expenses as and when required. And then LPDP and NTU will also fund your round trip international airfare to and fro from the first when you go to from Indonesia to Singapore, and then after that from Singapore back to Indonesia, right? So it's a whole round trip, includes your visa application expenses, your health insurance plans, settling in allowance, as well as a monthly stipend. Um, on the application side, so what is required to apply to both? Basically, you should have a good bachelor degree. So what it means by good is, I think out of 4 CGPA, you can take a look at about 3 to 3.2 onwards. But it doesn't mean that even if, you're not scoring that high, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't apply. You should. You can still go for it. There's quite a lot of placement for people to, apply. Uh, TOEFL and IELTS is a requirement by LPDP. So you should have TOEFL and IELTS, especially if your bachelor program is not conducted in English. Those without TOEFL and IELTS would still be eligible to apply for NTU programs. So like not all NTU programs require TOEFL and IELTS. So just take a look over at the website to see whether your program of your choice requires TOEFL or IELTS. And what are the differences? Because I think some programs have different score requirements. So take a look. But again, at the LPDP side, you actually do require TOEFL and IELTS. Students in their penultimate and final year studies can apply with their provisional degree certs and transcripts. And then once you receive your confirmation for the program for LPDP, and then you can submit your official degree certs later. Where to apply? We have two different types of master programs. One is master by coursework and master by research. Master by research is typically like if you intend to take up PhD. So you can take a look at master by research. The main difference is like master by research is you will require to complete a master's thesis. And then after that, you can proceed on to PhD, right? You need that research component, right? And then master by coursework is mostly just doing masters, the coursework itself. So just attend classes, that sort of thing. These are the 3 QR codes for you to take a look at by the different categories. Apply for coursework, apply for research, and then you have to apply for the LPDP Beasiswa Regular. So how to apply for InStep? There are 3 methods. The first one is for you to apply to NTU first. So by applying to NTU first, it will take about 6 months, and then if you are successful, you'll receive the letter of acceptance, and then you request for a letter of deferment so that you can use both LoA and the deferment letter to apply to LPDP. So applying to LPDP will take another 6 months, and this will take about 6 months. 6 months is 1 year, so you'll take about a 1 year lead time before you can actually start commencing your studies. Method 2 is to apply to LPDP first, because I think some people prefer to secure that scholarship first. They feel more safe in that sense. So you can do that as well. Apply to LPDP first. It's going to take about 6 months. And then after that, you can apply to NTU and the application portal opens. So that's going to take another 6 months. And then you can start the studies. So another 1 year lead time before you can actually start your studies at NTU. Method 3 works when both NTU and LPDP opens at the same time and you want to cut that 1 year process into 6 months. Like for right now, LPDP is going to start mid-Jan and then NTU application window already open, right? So you open both around this same timing, and then you will receive the outcome also around the same timing. So around May, June, July, that time period, and then you can start your studies. Let's say earliest August 2026. So yeah, depends on your preference. Depends on let's say some of you might be graduating slightly later, so you can actually choose which method works best for you. I'll share the pros and cons. Uh, which method might work best depending on what you have. Wait, okay. So, like I said, NTU application is very straightforward. You apply over in our portals and then you just wait for the outcome. So if during this time period, during these 6 months, NTU wants to call you down for an interview or do a test, whatever, it's within these 6 months, you just need to wait for the for NTU to call you back. LPDP side, there's a few stages. So you go over to the website, to the portal, right? The Beasiswa LPDP portal. You apply online, and then you have to go through. Generally, you have to go through three different stages. So if you go for the first method, which is to apply for NTU first, you successful at NTU, you will receive a letter of acceptance. So when you get this LOA, you get to skip the second stage and go straight to the substance selection stage direct. So from after the administration selection, you skip bakat scholastic, you go over to seleksi substansi. But if you prefer to go for the second method and the third method, which is to apply to LPDP first or to apply for both at the same time, you won't have the letter of acceptance, which means you have to go through all three stages: the selection, administration, scholastic talent selection, and then the substance selection, which is the interview component of the entire application process at LPDP. So again, whichever method you prefer, method one, two, or three, there's pros and cons lah. So you can, take a look slowly, go through the both websites to see which timeline works best for you, and then you'll know which method works best for you. After you clear through the substance selection stage at LPDP, basically, if you already have the LOA from NTU and then you secure your scholarship, you can get ready to leave for NTU already. You can start the earliest semester, let's say semester 1, August 2026. Just sign and then you can start leaving, start your preparing for your departure. In the event that you go for methods 2 and 3, you don't have a letter of acceptance yet, LPDP will give you a maximum of about 18 months to look for a program at NTU, secure that, and then you can start preparing for your departure. Let me just share the scholarship batch one, the June batch timeline. So, Beasiswa regular at LPDP will open sometime next week. They have yet to formally update their pages because they're currently revamping their webpage. Please refer to the 2025 Beasiswa Regular 2025 to look for the information on requirements and all the relevant documents to be submitted so that you can prep yourself for when the portal opens. And then NTU course programs, you can take a look. Application portal is still open until 31st March 2026. But also please do be mindful that some programs may have earlier deadlines, like in February. So different programs have different deadlines. So please, take a look at the different options that they give you on the portal itself. Same goes for NTU research. Officially, it should be closing 31st Jan, but some research programs will actually extend this deadline for you. So again, please do your research and do your homework to see which program suits you and make sure of the deadlines. Also to note from the Office of Admissions, they say if you are to apply for multiple programs within that same admission exercise, please make sure that you use the same application number so that we can track your personal IDs, tag your personal IDs to that application number and know which programs that you've already selected to apply for. After you apply for NTU and NTU programs, we instead would want to recommend submitting your application number through our InStep Google form so that we can help track your application. So like when you have information on your application, like say maybe the schools are not replying you fast enough or something urgent, we can help you track your application. So you can just use the QR code or the Google form to actually submit your application number after you apply for the course at NTU. Okay, so I've simplified the pathway, the timeline for you. So let me just go through. Let's say right now, right? If you decide to go for the first method, which is to apply to NTU first and then apply to LPDP and then start school in the next the next admission commencement date. So let's say right now, November to March, this is your standard semester one application window. So you apply during this period, November to March, and then March will close, and then LPDP is opening around this timing, right? Jan to May. If you decide to go for option 3, which is to apply both at the same time, this entire chunk of the timeline is relevant to you. If not, you can just do one by one. NTU first, and then the results for NTU August intake will be released sometime May, June, July. You get your letter of acceptance, you request for your letter of deferment, and then you can start to apply for the LPDP batch 2 window. Yeah. And then batch 2 the results will be released. You have to go through the administration selection, the scholarship talent selection, and then the results will be released sometime November, December 2026. And then if both secured, both all approved, your earliest start date will be the January intake, January 2027 intake, which is semester 2 AY 2025-2026. If let's say your program is not available in Jan, right, then your next progression would be, of course, the August intake lah. So yeah, this is the very direct timeline for you. It's quite linear actually. If you want to take up the LPDP first, so right now, next week when they open the portal, this is a good time for you to apply. Apply for batch 1 LPDP scholarship. The process sometime May, June, the results will be out, and then you can apply to NTU in July, that time period. So it's for the the January intake, January 2027 intake. So results will be out sometime October to November here, and then after that you can of course start here. So yeah, whichever like I said, do your homework, do your research over on the websites, the relevant websites, and then you'll actually know which timeline works best for you. There are over 80 courses available from the 8 colleges at NTU, and these colleges include the College of Business, College of Humanities, Arts and Social Sciences, College of Computing and Data Science, College of Engineering, College of Science, the S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies, Lee Kong Chian School of Medicine, as well as the National Institute of Education. NIE is where teachers are trained to become teachers. They have quite a lot of courses there as well. So let me just go through the different types of program structure and duration. I think a lot of people get confused about this. Like we have 2 different types of master programs at NTU. One is master by coursework, where you only do the coursework component and or dissertation, depending which one you prefer to do. It's usually the type of program that people want to take up and then continue to the workforce after that. Master by research is when you intend to do your research, and then you want to take up PhD afterwards. So master by research is like masters in engineering, for instance. So those are research programs, which is a 2-year program. So the normal candidature is the typical standard normal candidature for a master by coursework is a 1-year program. I know in Indonesia, you do your masters in about maybe 1.5 years to 2 years. But in Singapore, it's pretty standard to be completed within 1 year. It's manageable. It's actually quite feasible. But in the event that you cannot complete your master by coursework in 1 year, you are allowed to extend in NTU for a maximum of 2 years. So total, you do about 4 stems of your coursework. But as an LPDP scholar, you're only awarded for that 1 year. So if you need to extend, you have to self-fund for that remaining years. Master by coursework, on the other hand, it's a 2 years candidature. If you need to extend, you can extend up to a total of 6 semesters, which is 3 years. But again, you are only awarded, the agreement with LPDP is that you will only be awarded for that 2 years only. Anything more, you'll have to self-fund yourself. When I say why I say it's actually manageable, the graduation requirement for master by coursework For instance, it's you should do a minimum of 30 academic units. So that's your credit as a whole program. You're supposed to complete 30 AUs. So this will consist of your core courses and specialization electives, depending on your programs, right? It may require you to complete administrative electives. So basically, you do maybe about 4 to 5 compulsory courses, and then after that, you can complete the rest of the electives to complete your 30 AUs. So one course will be about 3 to 4 AUs. So typically, it's a 3 AU program, which means if you're supposed to complete 30 AUs, you're supposed to do about 10 courses. So in a year, master by course, so in a year, there's 2 semesters. You need to complete 30. You can divide it into five classes, 5 courses, 5 courses. So that's 5 times 3 is 15 AUs, right? So you can complete 30 within that 2 semesters. It's actually manageable. Coming from experience, it's actually manageable. So as a full-time student, as an international student, you will be a full-time student at NTU. So 30 AUs over a course of 2 semesters is actually feasible. You can complete your coursework by that stipulated 1 year. You can take a look at the schools or the specific programs websites, what kind of courses that's available for you to register for. And as an NTU student, you can actually choose your timetable. So once you are matriculated, you're supposed to select your classes for that semester, right? You can actually play around with your timing, which one is best for you. So most of the lessons will take place at the NTU main campus, and then on average, full-time students take about 3 to 5 classes a week. So like I said, 3 to 5 classes. If you do 5 a semester, you can do all 10 in one year, one academic year. Some programs may require group assignments. Again, these kind of things you can check with the schools. So you just need to contact your school which school you're interested in. Let's say School of Engineering, Triple E. Just reach out to that program administrator and then ask about the group assignments or individual assignments, whatever it is that you need to know to help with your planning on taking up the different courses at NTU. You can refer to the school's websites and contact them directly for more info. Okay, so sharing college of engineering, these are some of the schools and master's program that we have on offer. So School of Triple E, we have this Masters of Science. So if you see Masters in Engineering in Triple E, that's a research program. So you see here research, right? So this is your 2 year research program. The rest are like 1 year programs. So typically a Master of Science would be a 1 year program, and then something like Masters in Engineering would be a 2 year research program. This is for students who intend to take up PhD later. MSc, we have CEE if you're interested in construction management, maritime studies, civil engineering. MAE for the robotics and aviation, smart manufacturing, for instance, project management, that sort of thing. CCEB, we have these biomedical engineering, chemical engineering. All of these schools are ranked quite high by subject in Singapore, in Asia, as well as in the world. So again, take a look at the different websites, see which one suits you best. College of Science includes the School of Environment, ASC, School of Biological Sciences, CCEB, and SPMS. College of Computing and Data Science, CCDS, is one of our popular, oversubscribed college. It caters to those interested in taking up a Master of Science in AI, cybersecurity, data science, that sort of thing. So one of the new programs is the Master of Computing in Applied Artificial Intelligence. Again, CCDS, oversubscribed because it's a very popular school because, ranked very, very high in the QS World Rankings. College of Business, we have the offerings from the Nanyang Business School as well as the MBA programs. So if you don't really know, if you're interested in MBS and don't really know what kind of master's program you're perfect for, you can take a quiz over on their website. COHAS is a mixture of schools from ADM, School of Humanities, School of Social Sciences, Wikimedia School of Communications, as well as the Nanyang Center for Public Administration and the Contemporary Art of Singapore. So some of our new programs include the Digital Humanities, Game Art, Game Design, Art and Tech, as well as the Museum Studies and Curatorial Practices. And if you're interested in entrepreneurship and innovation, you can take a look at the NTU Entrepreneurship Academy, which has the Master of Science in Entrepreneurship and Innovation program. We also have the Global Think Tank Graduate School, which is the RSIS. It focuses on strategic studies and security affairs. So if you're interested in doing up programs, involving policy, decision makings, Asian studies, uh, international relations, that sort of thing, RSIS will be the school for you. And if you're interested to become a teacher or you're already a teacher doing up your wanting to take your masters, you can take a look at NIE. It has over 16 specializations under the Master of Education. If not, Master of Arts and Master in Educational Inspiration, you can take a look at the different types. Again, all of this information can be found on the NTU and NIE websites. NIE is ranked quite high as well. It's number 8 in the world by subject in education and training. LKC School of Medicine, we only have one offering for international students. So, as a full-time international student interested in LKC, you can take a look at the Master of Science in Artificial Intelligence in Medicine. So, this is some of the programs at NTU that I'm in, where it's interdisciplinary and it's a hybrid sort of thing. So, it's AI, it's science and tech there, and then we're talking about medicine. So, there's a hybrid. This program is not like a clinical doctor kind of like a degree. It's the tech of medicine. It's the AI in medicine. So yeah, multidisciplinary. Okay, Maggie.
Yeah, thank you, Nadia. So next, I'm going to take a few minutes to actually introduce the interdisciplinary postgraduate programs that is offered by NTU PACE. So PACE stands for the Professional and Continuing Education in NTU. So at NTU PACE, our programs are actually intentionally designed at the intersection of technology, management, and also emerging the industry as well, rather than training our students in isolation. So we are actually pretty much more focused on the developing of our students who can actually bridge different domains. For example, like engineers who can actually understand the business strategy, and also for the usual managers who can actually work with those data and AI as well. And of course, for the future leaders, who actually can navigate the complex and also technology-driven environment. So what actually makes our interdisciplinary programs over here in NTU PACE is so distinctive is that the way that how they are built. So we are actually delivered through cross college collaboration, drawing on the NTU's strengths in engineering, science, and business. So the curriculum is actually very much industry relevant and also practice oriented. So this is to ensure that our students, not just what they learn, is not just only academically rigorous, but also immediately they can the things that they learn is relevant to the industry and is able to applicable in the workplace. So in short, NTU PACE over here, especially for the interdisciplinary programs, are actually designed to prepare our students, not just for your first job or your next job, but also for the long-term career resilience in the evolving world. So today, as you can see from the slides, as for now, we have actually 3 programs to highlight. The first one will be the Master of Science in Enterprise AI. So this program is actually offered by the combination of College of Computing, Data Science, and also the Nanyang Business School. So this is actually one of the first master degrees actually offered to integrate the programs that spread leadership and also management and also the governance, innovation, AI, and also some no-code or low-code tools will be innovated during the course as well. And the curriculum itself is very much industry aligned that will actually give the students with both the strategy insights and also the practical knowledges. The next Master of Science in Engineering Management is actually more focused on the project management and also the AI data analytics and also the effectiveness of communication. So if the students who is looking for, who is already or future to be the engineers, and you want to have some leadership, business, and also the innovation skills, which are quite critical for the success of today's global economy, then this program will be a right choices for you. So for the above 2 programs that we mentioned is actually more generic, broader, but if you are looking for something that you want to specialize in, And then you can look at our Master of Science in Technology, in Nanotechnology and Nanoscience. So this program is actually leveraging the expertise from School of Triple E, SPMS, CCEB, and also the Material Science Engineering as well. So this program is actually more for the students who are actually looking for the career opportunities in the future. It's more for semiconductors or electronics, energies, and also even healthcare as well. So if you are looking for a specific for those kind of like fields to go in, this program will be a better choice. So next, I'm going to touch on the application procedure. So the application procedure is quite similar. We do have an application portal. So what you need to do is actually log into the portal, submit the necessary documents. So usually the documents including, for example, for international students will be including passport photos in white backgrounds, and your official degree certs, and also the official full transcripts as well. And if your undergraduate is not done fully in English, you will also need to do the language test, either TOEFL or IELTS. So for the minimum requirements for the language test, TOEFL we required for the above three program that I mentioned. The TOEFL minimum we required 85. For IELTS, minimally required 6 for overall. But do take notes that sometimes if you apply both to the programs and the LPDP, sometimes LPDP might have higher requirements on this. So please do take notes and do your homework and then submit the necessary documents accordingly. So after once you submit your application online, make the application fee paid, and then we're going to the admissions committee will actually start the review process. So the review process usually will take about 6 to 8 weeks because the offer will be sent out by batches. So do be patient with us that it's going to take some time to reach you. And also if you have certain timelines to meet, do let us know as well. You can email to us on the next slides. There is an email address. Yeah, so you can email us with your name, full name, on the same as the passport, and also your unique application number. Tell us that what kind of timelines that you need to meet. Then we will try to assist you from there, try to expertise your application from there. And one thing is, if you want to know more about our programs, to look at what kind of courses you're going to have, you can scan the QR code over here on the left-hand side to download our program brochure. And then for the application portal, it's on the right-hand side of the QR code. So do remember that for the above three programs, the application deadline will be by 31st of March by 2026. So do actually submit your application before the deadline. Thank you. That's all for me.
Okay, so that being said about the admission side of things, once after you matriculate into NTU, these are some of the things that you can expect to experience. So Pelajar Indonesia NTU is an association for Indonesian students in NTU SG called PINTU. It's now become one of the most established Indonesian students organizations in Singapore. So it's a community-based network, Grad Connect within NTU itself. Some of the events that they host will include like gaming nights like futsal, badminton, BBQ nights, as well as the yearly iftar get-togethers during Ramadan. Sharing some
Kalau
figures.
ku pandang kelimpitan nun jauh di sana, saya ku dengar melodi cinta yang menggema seperti kopi dangdut.
Wishing everyone a happy Deepavali!
few months, we hold events like this for everyone to get together, the entire university population get together, students, faculty members, to hang out and network and learn about each other's cultures, that sort of thing. So at NTU, there's nothing to be afraid of. We've got like a little bit for everyone, and these are some of the things that you can actually uh, get a chance to experience or take part in lah. Mm. Okay, so at NTU, you'll find a young, vibrant university beamed with life. And we believe learning continues beyond the four walls of the classroom, lecture theatre, and labs. So you'll get the chances to engage in activities that will help develop you holistically as an individual. So you can choose to volunteer, you can take up a new hobby or leadership role, take part in CCAs, co-curricular activities, and learn to be yourself, learn to develop yourself as a healthy, resilient people, able to rise up to life's challenges. And should you ever need any support, uh, let's say counseling or peer helping, academic mentoring, tutoring, just ask for it and we can always help you out. Some students, some applicants have also mentioned that they have concerns about finding halal food in NTU. So we do have halal food on campus. So Singapore being, a very multiracial, multicultural community, we do have halal food on campus. We even have a full halal canteen called the Quad. And depending on your palates, if you want something Indian, we have the Bismillah Biryani. You want Malay food, we have a cafe at the admin building. We have a Chinese Muslim canteen. So whatever it is that you need, there's always something for you on campus. Even if you don't eat on campus, outside of NTU, there's also a lot of food. So, just search, you turn one corner, you'll see halal food, no problem one. Sharing a bit on the cost of living estimated, these are some of the monthly expenses you can look to estimate. So if you're staying on campus, these are some of the costs. Meals, maybe about 450, 630 a month. And of course, your transport with it in or out of campus, or your 4G, 5G network, for instance. And because LPDP will give you a monthly stipend as well, the cost that you can play around with, you should have enough to actually bring back as savings. So it's actually, quite, it's actually not that bad to survive in Singapore based with the stipend that LPDP provides. Sharing some of our notable alumni. Our alumni are made up from political figures, academic lecturers, celebrities like Mary Riana. We also have CEOs like Johnny Widodo, who's also the chairman of the NTU Alumni Association Indonesian chapter. He hooks up a lot of our students with businesses and industries in Indonesia, hook them up as like interns, sort of thing. So you're pretty much covered from your admission application stage to your candidature stage, and then your post studies stage. So with this network of alumni and NTU students communities and stuff, you're actually we try to cover you holistically in that sense. That's sharing also profile on Prof Lydia Helena Wong. She's the director for NTU Gain, and is the director for Inspirasi as well as InStep. So she was also an alumni at NTU. She's now a professor, full professor at NTU. And then we also have Dr. Catherine Koh, who's director of A3L and the head of program at BINUS, with Dr. Adalah, for instance. As well as Sylvia Halim, the lead project engineer for the MRT Jakarta. So a lot of notable alumni from NTU who has come back to help develop Indonesia. So yep, if you are interested in InStep or our PhD programs, please register your interest, let us know, and we'll reach out to you. For any further questions, if you need help, of course, you can always go back to Steven, who will, try to hook us up so we can help you out. We will try to help you as much as we can. So that's me done. Steven, back to you, please.
So yeah, I think that's the end of the session. It's 12:30 now. We would like to thank you so much for you guys attending this event on the weekend. teman-teman kalau misalnya udah apply dan sudah ada application ID, you can send me your application ID so we can help you to track. Dan untuk teman-teman yang memang belum apply tapi dokumen-dokumennya sudah ada, you can send me your documents so I can help you to apply to start the application to NTU before the deadline. Karena deadline-nya depending on the program, but mostly itu ends in March, ya teman-teman. Jadi hopefully aku bisa bantu teman-teman semua untuk apply and get the LOA from the NTU. And then the last, if you guys mungkin ada yang datangnya terlambat, boleh chat me untuk minta recordingnya. Tinggal bilang Kak recording, and then I will send you the records. Oke, teman-teman. So Nadia and Maggie, thank you so much for today for giving the presentation and also insights for all of us here. It's really helpful and hope to see everyone in here in NTU. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Sibat, for having us.
Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you.
Thank you, teman-teman. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Maggie. Thank you,